faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. Yeah, I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money.
Fly XRP today is English, yes. Champions League. Well, they start in 45 minutes. I will waste just 15 minutes, I guess. Or you, for that matter. The unbanked.
I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP.
Hello everyone, let's get started. I have no financial interests, I have no sponsored links, and I won't answer any question anymore regarding when, moon, or anything like that. Today I just want to quickly cover wallets. I made a video recently where I basically explained that each and every transaction on XRP and on most other cryptocurrencies, there are a few where that is not the case, all transactions are public. So as soon as someone knows your public address, they know how much XRP you have in your wallet. Okay, that's very important, and what comes with it is that I suggest don't send to anyone directly from your wallet. Always go the way via an exchange or use one of these payment services. I have put the link into the description of the video. Then, in general, there are no coins in your wallet, in your Ledger Nano or whatever other Elipal cool wallet. There are no coins there. It's just the private key which those tools and devices manage. Because everything is public, your XRP are on the ledger. It's really just the private key with which you can send your XRP to someone else, which I again propose not to do unless you're using one of these payment services. If you're not sure if your exchange, because there was a huge discussion going on today on Twitter, there seem to be some exchanges which do not have a collective wallet, like Bitstamp I think has a collective wallet, Coinfield, Bittrex, the three I am on, and eToro X, all those have a collective wallet, and those and when you send coins there, whatever coin it is, you always need to use the destination tag. If you forget that, then your coins are lost That's important. So the identifier, as soon as there is a destination tag, it basically means you're using, or where they arrive will be a collective wallet. There are a few exchanges, I don't remember one, but the other one I think, if Richard is here, he might correct me, I think it's called GateHub. They offer kind of both. How it works on the exchange, like when you put up a sell order, there I don't know, because I mean, okay, basically it's just a rearrange, like a reassigning of the destination tag. But unless, I mean, they had your private key, they could also, so you also there you must basically send the XRP or whatever other coin first to the collective wallet. That's how I think it works. Someone might correct me. Okay, and now that's it regarding content I wanted to cover, and some people were asking me about JP Morgan, just forget it. Others were asking me about this MoneyGram Visa deal, forget about all those things. I said it more than once. It doesn't, you can stop connecting dots, really. There is like a million of connected dots. And if just 1% of them comes true, our life is basically made. I mean, hold on. So now it tells me green again. I hope it's better for you guys as well. No. I really don't know where the problem is. I think it's rather on the YouTube side, but I cannot really tell. Okay, so basically coming back to this MoneyGram Visa and the JP Morgan whatever, forget about, relax, have a beer with your friends, go for a walk with your dog. It's literally unimportant. Those who have been following Darren Moore, just him alone, basically showed so many possible connections to XRP and Ripple. It's like mind blowing. And I told it, I don't know to whom I told it today, but just recent, I think it was today, someone was having such a question and I basically answered, it's not important, it won't help us get to our target any faster, knowing or not knowing how Visa is doing their deals and how MoneyGram is doing their deals. It's literally unimportant. I had 2 epiphanies, I think, or was it 3? One was my research on the superhighway. I mean, at that point, actually, it was 3 epiphanies. At that point, I already knew this will be big, and I continued to do a little bit research into that direction. But then Darren Moore came along, and he and others were doing much better job, and it's like, from all those researchers, you could actually believe the whole world will be connected to RippleNet and XRP. The second epiphany I had with Shane Ellis' theory, how the price could surge, that there are, even if it's not Shane Ellis which will come true, but there must be something which will work in a similar fashion. If we're progressing like we're doing now, I mean in February, I think, or in whole 2020, I think we made, I don't know, somewhere around 30% or less. I mean, it's like laughable. It's it's nothing. And on that progress, banks with their multi-million dollar transaction will have to wait another 5 years. And I'm pretty sure Ripple did not sell them a solution telling them, I'm sorry, but you can only use it in 5 years. Pretty sure not. Ripple is definitely working hard to get the liquidity solved. Of that I'm 100% sure. And the third epiphany, and actually it was the second I told before was the last one. The second moment when for me basically it was clear as, I don't know, how does Sam I am say, clear as day, was when Jack the Rippler posted that link about this NobleProg website where Ripple training is offered all around the world. That started late 2017, and this year, for the rest of the year, they have 3,800 Ripple courses planned all around the world. In some countries like Switzerland every week, in smaller countries maybe once a month or so, but in the whole world 3,800 training courses. I know maybe 50% of those will not happen because there won't be enough participants. But even if it's like just 10% of those, like 380, that will still be, I don't know, around 3,000 people who will get trained all around the world. And I mean, which company offers training for something they know, well, it won't be used for another 3 or 4 years? I mean, that's totally stupid. So just breathe. Raf always says breathe. It's literally, don't freak out on every news. Also, when Brad Garlinghouse talks in an interview, listen carefully. The only word I heard in that interview was more. I will explain after what I mean by more. I mean, like 99.9% of what he was talking about, we basically knew. Nothing new. The only thing which was new, kind of, was the more. US regulators could do more. He didn't say they need to get into action. He said explicitly they could do more. And as in the whole interview, he was always talking very generic. He didn't even, like on each question he was being asked, he explained in broader terms, not just for X or P. Maybe this more regulation, which might do well for US, could be for the whole crypto, I don't know, area, crypto space, so to speak. I still believe regulation is just about fine in most important countries. We have Euro corridor, we have US dollar corridor. I mean, today I have seen a transaction, an ODL transaction from MoneyGram about $100,000. And if you tell me a money transmitting service, I think it's called Money Service Business, MSB, I think it's called Money Service Business. If they're allowed, my belief was always that they could only send like small values, up to 10,000 or so. And if they can send 100,000, I mean, come on, that to me means regulated. So, BR Fantastic is asking, I was talking about my, well, it was not really an exit plan, it was more like a plan when I would stop working. And initially I decided with my wife to stop working when we are sure that we make 3 million of profit. My calculation was maximum 30 years more to live, 1 million for 10 years, and like the 2 million for like the 10 to 20 and 20 to 30 years in the future will give enough interest now to have a decent life, not just like the life we have now, but really a little bit more luxury life. So basically that third, my revised target is now, I told my wife and she agreed, if we see that the price is really getting on, even if it's not Chainalysis, but if we see, like once we're at $5, like maybe a week later $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 or so, as soon as our million profit is there, then I will retire. That doesn't mean I will cash out everything, but that will mean that, I mean, we would have enough money to survive until the price is even higher at these 3 millions, just in case. I mean, I could basically, with $1 million, I could already now survive 10 years. So, When Moon, idiot. Miva, idiot. Gaurav, idiot. Mr. Penguin, idiot. No, the connection was lost, Aaron. I'm catching up with Miva. I'm having Swisscom. Actually, they had a pretty stupid breakdown. I think it was about 10 days back. Like half of Switzerland didn't have mobile phones didn't work, internet didn't work. Obviously, television didn't work because they deliver it via internet, and the fixed landlines didn't work. It was like, because it's nowadays also working via the same connection. It was like a total breakdown. And I am basically living at the far edge of the village where we're living, and it could be that really the cables up to here not so good. Which consortium, Sophie? After IPO, Miva, did you watch that interview from Brad Garlinghouse? I told it like the day when, I think it was I don't remember if it was him or Ashish Biela, telling that Ripple will not be the last. I already then knew this doesn't end well, and he explicitly said the same thing I tweeted a few times. Ripple will do an IPO once they're ready. There's literally no rush for them. Synthetic, you're actually correct. He seemed little worried. He was actually not worried at all, because any other coin please read my coil blog I did, why we need a bridge asset, and watch I think it was last week. Watch my last week's live stream. The first, like from minute, I don't know, 5 to minute 25, where I tried to get my followers to answer the question, why do we need a bridge asset? With anything which is backed by any institution, be it a JP Morgan stablecoin or be it a Swiss franc central bank digital currency, it'll still need a bridge, because the recipient still will not want to hold Swiss francs or JP Morgan for that matter. They want. It's so simple. It's like money in your daily life. You also do not go with 10 leaves of bread to the butcher and pay the butcher in bread. You pay him with something neutral. Dollar, Swiss franc, euro. The difference between fiat and X or P. Fiat buys goods and services, and X or P buys fiat, other currencies. That's the only difference. And the reason why it's a bridge is because no one wants to hold the other thing. Same as the butcher doesn't want to hold 50 breads on his counter. It's the same mechanics. It's so simple that most people don't understand it. My wife likes handbags as well. Actually, user 77836, he is having a very intelligent question. Did you see my tweet today? Actually, let me quickly, I have it open here. Let me quickly find that. I think, could it be that I will see that under media? Probably not. There was I know a faster way. Web, because I received the link, I think, from Richard on Telegram. Hold on. Richard. And then no, I don't find the link, I'm sorry. But there was a link, here, I found it anyway. Maybe I quickly share the link with you guys. Where's my chat window? Here. So here's the link to the tweet. And I will quickly share the screen. So that was a tweet going around. I hope, can you see it? It's a bit weird. Can you see it? Can you give me thumbs up? So basically that article was about Swift GPI having transferred 77 trillion in 2019. And then I thought, hold on. Didn't everyone believe Swift, like the GPI volume was 5 trillion a day, so 77 trillion a year would be like 4% of that. But they talk about like 80% of their customers are onboarded and using GPI. Then I thought, where's the rest of that volume? And I made a tweet, don't hype it. But I could literally very well imagine that the rest of that volume is on RippleNet already. Not ODL, but X-Current anyway. And why? The average transaction size on 3 RTGS systems, real-time gross settlement systems, Target 2 in Europe, NPP in Australia, and Canada, I don't know the name. From these 3 I found statistics. And the average, like, not the median, it's really the average transaction is on all 3 of them between 4.5 and 5 million. If you now take those 5 million and apply the million transactions on RippleNet, then we have 5 trillion. I really could imagine that this is the case. I mean, even if it's just 20% of that, it's still a lot. And 20% was basically the figure regarding Swift market share I was using like a month ago or so. Does that satisfy your question, user 77836? We are fantastic. The third of my target, of my initial target, is not, it's just when we have made 1 million instead of 3 million. You cannot know at which price that will happen, because you don't know how many X or P I have. Okay? It has nothing to do with the 4 digits I think we'll see this year. Hi Raf, nice to see you. Early morning. I got into crypto, I think August, September, something, 2017. And no, I don't have Bitcoin. I do have very few solo. But that's not for me that's an asset. It's not really like a crypto. I'm from Switzerland, Zasse, XD. She was in Synetic, actually the first kind of investment was rather a test drive, just to get a feeling how it works and stuff. And then we decided for an amount I could invest, and like a year later we kind of, we corrected that amount a little bit, and yeah, I did spend more than that amount. We decided after the correction. But she's totally behind me, 100%. Lithuania, yes, it's no. I'm screaming. I'm just waiting for the moment. I'm screaming into the microphone. Is it too loud? I'm sorry. Microphone. Now I lost you guys. David Sherrill. I mean, the other coins I literally don't care. I could also pick up another argument. I was asked by a follower on Twitter to give some thought on whales. That was one request from one side, and another guy wanted me to talk about the still existing kind of parallel movement of Bitcoin and all the other coins. For all the other coins, I mean, I'm really not interested. I'm interested in XRP. And that the price, I mean, that there are some, whatever you call it, whale movements or whatever it be. I mean, as long as we don't have the liquidity as an Apple stock has, where literally, I don't know, 10% of all stock every day is traded, this volatility will stay. But as soon, and of that I'm pretty sure, as soon as XRP rises over a particular threshold to kind of create this gap to the rise in Bitcoin, there will be this break off, and nothing of that will count anymore. And that there are whales in XRP, I literally doubt. Giorgio, no, 0.001 is not my 4 digits. Mr. Penguin, they can push for the digital yuan, but it still needs a bridge, because Switzerland doesn't want to hold digital yuan. Switzerland wants to hold a neutral asset, same as you hold in your purse when you go to the butcher and pay the butcher. The butcher wants something neutral. He doesn't want bread or gasoline or something. That's of no use to him. Should we be worried about the current scenario, or is it only a matter of time? It's just a matter of time. User 77836, organizational changes at Swift. Did it pass on you that Gottfried Leibrand left? I think it was over a year ago. Maybe that was the reason, because he thought, well, what should I do here? XRP run, I told it already. US is just about fine. How else could MoneyGram send $100,000 transaction to Mexico? And on a global level, like Euro is fine, Mexico is fine, all South America is fine. Africa I'm not so familiar with. Like all those Saudi states, Saudi Arabia, Oman, and all those countries will, I'm pretty sure, come rather sooner than later with ODL corridors. India, there might be some issues, because India has kind of like totally banned crypto 2 years ago or so. But I also heard about India that there is obviously a law which at least lets What's the category they put XRP in? I don't remember. Bridge asset or something. No, it's not bridge asset. It was more utility asset or something. I don't remember. And I think they will or do allow that already. Japan is definitely fine. Australia is definitely fine. About Russia and China, we didn't hear anything, but I mean, it's the same for China. They don't want to hold. They may want to hold dollar. I don't know what their strategy is, but for sure they don't want no Nigerian whatever currency they use there. Content consumer. That's like the Joker question of the evening. Will rivaling countries be okay with XRP being the neutral currency? That's exactly the point about the neutral means of exchange. Being neutral. Like, I don't know, Nigeria and Kenya. When they do trade today, they trade via dollar because neither of the countries wants to hold the other fiat. And the XRP will exactly do that at a much cheaper price. And the nice thing is all those nostros can go away and you can actually work with XRP. You can lend it, you can do whatever you want with it. With nostros, it's a nostro. I mean, the money sits there and it's stuck liquidity. And that's what we want to get rid of. And that's exactly the reason why, especially for rivaling countries, it'll be a good thing. Because they will not need to think about the currency of the other country anymore. Can you tell us something about paper wallet? Satan, well, it's basically the same as all other wallets, a paper wallet. It's just your private key. It's a piece of paper where your private key is written. And once you send XRP, you need to kind of type down that private key. If you have a good vault at home, you're fine with a paper wallet. It's just not so user friendly. But there is literally no difference in security than it is with a Ledger or anything like a Ledger Nano, Ledger S, Elipal, or however they're called. Exactly, Synetic. I mean, that's the beauty of the bridge asset being neutral. And I mean, like a year ago, many discussions were going around, but they will never ever pay so much money to make us rich and blah blah blah. I mean, the current system that you have to be aware of costs the world 1.6 trillion every year, and the difference between using X current and ODL is like a 30% or maybe even a 40% additional cost reduction. If we take 30% of 1.6 trillion, that's 500 billion. Year over year. Let that sink in. I mean, what else do I need to tell? I was actually, now I remember something I was talking about with Richard today. And maybe that's another reason for the hold up. He I mean, user 77 something with a number 836 or so. He asked me about that Swift, about that volume from Swift GPI, and I told my thought. Well, I could very well imagine that Ripple Net is already today covering like 80 or 90% of the old Swift volume. I mean, we know 30 of the top 100 banks are RippleNet customers. And I'm pretty sure we know, like, I don't know, not half of the customers which are RippleNet customers we know. It's maybe 20%. I'm pretty sure, like, from the top 100 is like 70 already on RippleNet. And with 70% of the top 100, you basically cover like almost each and every CLS bank. You cover basically the monster volume. The assets under management after spot 100, after rank 100 in the bank goes down to zero. So it's really the top 100 banks who makes the volume. And now I lost my thread. I was talking about that Swift thingy, that I could imagine that I wanted to talk about that thing I talked about with Richard, exactly. So he basically told to me, what about with that liquidity, when once these nostrils actually get liquidated, like liquefied and brought back into the country. I mean, you all know that 2 years ago everyone talked about 23 trillion worldwide stuck in nostrils. In the past 18 months, Ripple has been using different figures like 10 trillion. So if you go by 10 trillion and you divide that between, I don't know, the G20 or so, that would, I broke that figure down roughly, just like, I mean, like that, for Switzerland. And I compared the figure I got, like, for new money being in the system coming from those nostrils. I compared that with the, I think it's, I don't know how the term in English is, Geldmenge M1. There is different money, like pots. The cash, and then the bank, the money on your bank account, and then like the money the banks kind of create through fractional reserve banking. And I think that's M1. And M1 in Switzerland is a little bit less than, I think, 700 billion, I guess. And kind of liquefying those nostrils would bring about 10% of that M1 money amount back into the country. And maybe that's the reason why Ripple is also in contact with IMF and World Bank and BIS, because they're really worried about about financial stability. And if you bring so much money, so much liquidity back into the countries, that could be a shock. And maybe they have been thinking about how can we prevent the shock, because if you bring like 10% of that M1 money, I don't know, Menge, like additionally available, that could have severe effects on inflation. And maybe that's the reason why we're actually seeing a hold up. That would also like fit really nicely together with this my thought, where I don't have proof, that Ripple might well cover already, I don't know, 80-90% of Swift volume. I mean, where's the rest of this 5 trillion per day? Okay, I'm going back to the questions. RJ, I don't think that they plan with a time, like, sure they will have a timeline, but not it'll be like 14th of February or so, that definitely not, but surely they, I mean, for the last, I don't know, 14 months, I've been waiting for Moon, and I don't budge. I think the system would have been ready for enough volume for 3 digits end of 2018 already. I mean, when they get 2 new customers a week, and actually you know the number, beyond end of 2018 they had like 200 customers, end of 2019 it was like 300, like 2 per week difference. So basically the volume has like gotten 50% higher, obviously, from 200 to 300, but the total volume as such, I'm still 100% sure, like this ominous 589 figure would have been achievable if all had been going right. We all know it didn't. Bartians, no, XRP will not take over the employees of HSBC. Snake, that's a good thing that you will run an XRP validator. Glenn Tuck, Shane Ellis, I'm 100%, like, no, actually I changed my mind a little bit recently. But not in the sorts that it won't happen, but more in the sorts that some action to the price has to happen, and it has to happen this year. Otherwise, I think XRP, that project, will be kind of a failure for Ripple. Now, if it's Shane Ellis, or if it's like an adapted Shane Ellis, like in stages or whatever, I literally have no clue. But yes, I still believe it could be Shane Ellis. I mean, I read that theory, and it was like when I read about XRP as such, like every fiber in my body knew it. That's it. That's literally the one and only crypto coin which will make you rich. And the Shane Ellis theory kind of explained how that will happen in time. Actually, plain said, no, that's not quite true. The X stands for non-country currency. Like any currency which is not a country currency, like Swiss franc or euro or yen, should start with an X. The X is not for bridge. The X is for anything. Like I think he even gave the example for Bitcoin, like a proper ISO currency code for Bitcoin would have been XBC and not BTC. Well, David Jarrell, CBDCs, they will be your fiat. You will actually, if you pay, since about a month, I'm kind of not using cash at all anymore. Almost the last thing I used cash was at work, we have a batch which we had to kind of fill with money to be able to eat in the cantina, and that machine only accepted bills. So that's the reason why I still needed bills. And the coins, literally the only reason why I still have some coins laying around is parking lots, because some are still older and don't accept a card payment. Telling that, David Sherrill, you will not know the difference. For you, it'll still be a Swiss franc. It just in the backhand, it'll be handled different. The like the Swiss National Bank, they will not even advertise. You will not realize any difference. It'll be so seamless. There is literally no hype to be done about CBDCs. It's basically the same thing as when you pay by debit or credit card. You don't care what's behind it as long as it pays for the goods and services you buy. There is literally, my parents will not know they will be using a CBDC, and it's not important because it will have the same value as a normal Swiss franc. Kevin Patterson, please don't get me started about Brett Kimes. I mean, he has no clue what this flywheel theory is about, really. The flywheel theory is just an image how market works. Others would use the bell curve, this Gaussche Kurve in German. Like the normal distribution, if you so want. Like with early adopters, and then I don't know what all those names are, and then it goes to the top until like kind of half of the people are on the new technology, and it still progresses, but it'll be less new, like converters, if you so want. And the flywheel is just another symbol to explain how this movement will start get going. And Brad Kimes, I don't know what he understood. I think he thought it's a product or something. He really didn't get it. Plain said, agree to disagree, Michael. Agree to disagree on what? On the Shane Ellis, well, as I said, there, even if it's not Shane Ellis, but it will be something like that. Because in an organic way, we will be in 5 years still under $10, and that will help no one, only the remittance companies. And Ripple's vision is internet of value, and not internet of small value. Lakeside Crypto, the thing is, Brad Kimes interpreted it wrong on his, I really don't know what this guy has in his head. I mean, please do not watch his latest video about this TCP port. It's embarrassing. It's literally embarrassing. It's freaking embarrassing. Like, hyping something the way he hypes it. He basically hypes like XRP. Now it's clear. XRP is the standard, like email. It's embarrassing. XRPs. Thanks, Raf. Exactly. Four digits. Timmy Frocker. But only a few. Butterfly Trader and me and maybe a few others understand it. Well, actually, plain said, no, it's not. Well, I mean, no, that's actually not really the case. That no country immediately means bridge, because there might be a coin like in Switzerland. I told it, I think, in the last, I don't know, one of the last streams, I think in German. In Switzerland we have, maybe you know, Traveler Check. It's like, it used to be something you buy like a piece of paper and then you use it like a bill, like $100 bill or something. And if you lose it, the company behind Traveler Check will replace it for you, so you don't lose money. My parents used to do that when they went to Italy like 40 years ago. That's how I remember that. In Switzerland we have a rather similar system. It's called RECA, Reisekasse, or Travel Burs wallet, travel wallet, if you so on. Usually it's like, this RECA is an organization and they offer like special price houses for people with kids, like families and stuff like that. Like apartments you usually cannot rent like that on a portal, but RECA usually has those things. And by actually incentivizing using their services, they created RECA Check, which is a non. It's a money in Switzerland, but it's not the Swiss franc. It's RECA Check, and many companies, mine as well, offer a decent discount on buying those RECA Check. Like in my company, we get 20% discount. So I get 100 Swiss franc RECA Check, but I only pay $80. And that's quite good, because there is also gasoline, like gas stations which accept RECA Check. And that's not a bridge. Well, I mean, okay, if you think fiat is a bridge, then yes, we call it. I mean, basically any kind of money is in some way a bridge, because it's kind of neutral. But it's money used in Switzerland, and it's not really that bridge, because if you receive RECA and you want to buy a car, and the car dealer doesn't accept RECA, then you need to exchange it first. So it's not really a bridge. It's not so neutral. That's one thing. And then we also have VIA. I don't know what it stands for, but like most small to medium sized companies in Switzerland in the construction business, they pay and accept VIA. And so basically, if I had I don't know, carpenter, like the guy doing my roof, if I had to redo my roof, I don't know how the guy is called, carpenter, I really don't know. like Dachdecker in German. I could, if I had, I could pay him like maybe 20% in VIA, and he would take it and buy product he needs to put on my roof with that VIA. And it's also not a breach currency because not everyone accepts it. So if you want to buy something where VIA is not accepted, you need to first sell it to someone who is happy to have more of that VIA. And the same is might happen with other coins, plain said. So the X is really no country and not bridge, even though it might. I mean, it's very similar, but yeah. See you. Okay, I will. Anyway, last question. I think. We really don't know when. I want to thank you guys for your trust, for your patience, for your perseverance, and please stay off crypto news sites. Please do me that favor. They only talk shit. I'm really feeling ashamed. All that crap they put out. It's like, stay away from all those, like Cointelegraph and each one of them. It's always crap, and they turn and twist and turn the truth however they feel. Please. Okay. Yeah, I'm still very confident the price will rise soon. One last question. And then I wish you guys a nice evening. Thank you, Raf, for you joining me on Tuesday. That's a little bit the rare one. When moon? That was not the last question. In the traditional crypto exchanges, we trust they hold the asset security currency we're buying. With BTC liquidity placed in the XRPL, can't that be used as the neutral asset if trusted on Ledger? Well, actually, Lakeside Crypto, yes and no. I mean, this possibility on XRP Ledger, we do have IOUs. The problem with IOUs is, and that's the main reason why all the regulators went, hold on, when Facebook announced they'll backed Libra coin. How do you make sure that the coin is actually backed? I mean, so many people assume, and most likely righteously, I don't know, that USD Tether is not really backed by that many dollars as they say they have. And that's the problem of the backing. How do you guarantee? You need to guarantee. And the beauty of the from David Schwartz proposed stablecoin functionality would be stablecoins on the XRP ledger could be algorithmically enforced to be backed. And that's literally even this solo project, as much as I trust or hope that they will be doing good, but in the end you have to trust Coinfield that they actually put the asset aside for which you can buy tokenized assets on XRPL or on Coinfield exchange. And that's exactly something distribute ledger technology wants to get rid of, this trust, which leaves us basically with the only possibility to have a real stable coin like what David Schwartz proposed. What I could see is that there comes, I don't know who is required to use stablecoins. I really don't get the notion why that would be interesting, but for sure there are banks which have ideas about financial products. Don't ask me what it is. if there is like a real demand for that, I could very well imagine that some guy might pick that idea from David Schwartz and just create a ledger where the coin on the ledger is the use case for that coin is really just the collateral behind issued stable coins. That's a use case I could really see coming alive, pending the fact that banks really need a stable coin. I mean, digitized assets could mean. The problem is, no, actually, it's really a good proposal from David Schwartz. And with that, I leave you guys alone. I will go and watch some tennis, football as well. Thanks, enjoy, and please stay away from these coin news sites. And if there is anything which makes you doubt, close your eyes and breathe. Okay? Take care. Bye bye.